one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it, because you can.
From the Gazette comes a story out of Colorado where a Fort Carson soldier is under investigation after he was caught by a civilian group of pedophile hunters. Fort Carson specialist Brandon Story states in the first few minutes of a video on YouTube taken by the Colorado Ped Patrol, he was planning on meeting children, a 12-year-old and 11-year-old, for sex. The Department of the Army Criminal Investigation Division said in a statement they are aware of the November 22nd incident in a Walmart parking lot in Fountain, and they are investigating Brandon's story. He is also facing a misdemeanor in the 4th Judicial District for obstructing government operations on November 22nd, related to an altercation with the Fountain police after they arrived. The 27-year-old specialist with the 2nd Stryker Brigade Combat Team has served since 2016, according to this military record. The group Women Against Predators organized the meeting with Story after texting with him and gathering incriminating statements from him during lengthy conversations. The exchanges, including Story's graphic sexual statements, are also posted in a YouTube video. I'll try to find that. Tommy Fellows with Colorado Ped Patrol, another private group of pedophile hunters, confronted Story on camera in an exchange where the soldier admitted his intentions. Women Against Predators worked with Colorado Ped Patrol in part because none of the members of Women Against Predators live locally, explained Rob Rayborn, the only man in the group. It's a small group of 4 volunteers who live across the country and we're working on 27 cases in late December, he said. Colorado Ped Patrol is bigger with 25 people working at any one time. An email from the group said the group is working on about 20 cases and had 3 to 4 with pending meetups in recent weeks. Women Against Predators and Colorado Ped Patrol at times work closely together to catch sexual offenders, Rayborn said. Rayborn said the civilians were working with Army investigators on the confrontation. But 2 hours before an expected meeting, the Army Investigation Office called to cancel, so the meeting was moved off base. Mark Lenardi with the Army's Criminal Investigation Division, or CID, confirmed that the Colorado Ped Patrol did contact Army investigators ahead of the planned meeting. The investigators requested additional information but did not receive it before the planned meeting, he said. So they coordinated with Fountain Police, Lenardi said in a written statement. Now, the CID appreciates Colorado Ped Patrol bringing this matter to our attention, said Lenardi. Colorado Ped Patrol responded to the Army statement by providing email records that show the group did send a link to an investigator with evidence ahead of time. The investigator couldn't immediately open the link because of information technology protections. That's possible. In early January, Lenardi confirmed the investigation is still underway and Story is not in custody. That's as of January. Rayburn said he is concerned the Army has allowed Story continued access to his electronics. The group can tell he has access because his profiles have been active on apps they use to interact with potential offenders. Some law enforcement agencies can be hesitant to work with civilians engaged in this work, and 2 experts raised issues with this style of civilian-led investigation. Ryan Coward, a board member with the Colorado Criminal Defense Bar, said that these groups are allowed to use tactics barred to law enforcement. Official agencies have more boundaries based on years and years of court precedent, and so it'd be better if investigations into suspected offenders were left to law enforcement, he said. Yeah, we trust law enforcement. Quote, all those boundaries are designed to keep our judicial system fair at the end of the day. Said coward. However, both Women Against Predators and Colorado Pet Patrol provided the Gazette with documentation of past cases where they have seen success. Rayburn said his group creates fake profiles on teenage Facebook groups, and then the members wait for predators to find them and message them first. He said the group does not entice or lead people who message them online. Quote, our goal is to have a case to hand over to police, the district attorney, Rayburn said. Rayburn says members of his group are survivors of crimes similar to those they work to prevent, and that's what motivates them. He said, we would rather them talk to us than a real child. Absolutely. In October, Colorado Pet Patrol organized a meeting with Brian Bornstein and Joanna Ferguson in Cimarron Hills. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office responded to the call and later issued a news release saying the office recommended charges against the pair of attempted human trafficking of a minor for sexual servitude and internet luring of a child. Following his arrest, Borenstein showed sheriff's detectives messages in his phone that matched up with those provided by Colorado Pet Patrol. In this case, a member of Colorado Pet Patrol was pretending to be a 13-year-old, and Borenstein said in his messages he wanted to rape the child. He also admitted to the investigators he attempted to buy children off the internet and paid someone Bitcoin for 3 young girls. Colorado Pet Patrol was not involved in that exchange. Bornstein is in El Paso County Jail facing 4 felony charges, including internet sexual exploitation of a child, internet luring of a child with intent to exploit, and enticement of a child. A Clovis, New Mexico resident, Timothy Harper, also was arrested after a similar meeting where he was confronted by Colorado Pet Patrol in August. He was arrested on suspicion of acts including sexual exploitation of children and bestiality. What the? He admitted his intended and previous acts to a detective, according to the news release from the Clovis Police Department. Speaking in general, Lori Rose Kepros, an attorney and director of sexual litigation for the Office of the State Public Defender, said that the civilian work focused on stopping strangers on the internet is not targeting the bulk of the sex crimes against children. The vast majority, about 90% of the child sexual assault cases, are perpetrated by someone the victim knows, she said. That's old news. That's stats, yeah. Quote, it is coming at the hands of the adults that are in their schools, in their homes, at their friends' homes, Kepros said. At times, people who are sexually abused can become perpetrators themselves. So she would like to see more prevention and therapy for victims to help prevent future crimes. When it comes to predators caught up in online stings led by civilians or police, those people tend to be developmentally underdeveloped, mentally ill, or struggling socially. Quote, it's not the universe of the problem or even where most of the problem lies, Kepros said. Now, civilian-led confrontations are also problematic because they can also lead to a physical altercation and the civilians involved can be harmed, she said. Kepros said these cases should be left in the hands of law enforcement to prioritize. So this Kepros, she said the right thing that a lot of times these predators are people they know, schools, homes, relatives, all of that. But that does not mean that this Colorado Pet Patrol and these other groups shouldn't do what they do. Absolutely they should do what they do. She said, well, they're catching most of the people they catch are mentally ill, or mentally challenged. Or so they are still sexual predators. They are still pedophiles. They need to go away. I don't care what their mental state is. Okay, if you get somebody maybe that's mentally challenged, um, as some people would say, who has retardation. I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, he's, you know what I mean? Somebody that's just IQ wise not there. Okay. But that doesn't justify this type of action. He's still wrong, Kepros. So, and all these people keep saying, well, these groups need to leave this to law enforcement. Yeah, okay. Sure, the justice system is fair, ain't it? That's why there's so many innocent people in prison. Because the justice system is so fair. You know what the justice system is? And I'm going to tell you, you know what it is? It's a ball game. It's a chess match. The more you know, the better off you are. The more money you have to spend on attorneys who know more, the better off you are. People who don't know the law or don't know how to work case law or don't have money, they're in big trouble in the justice system. They could be innocent as hell because they don't have money, they don't have education, and they don't have the knowledge. They're going away for nothing. Know what I mean?